Today I'm going to talk about soft reconfiguration and route refresh. So this is this is one of the topics of CCIE lab exam. Cisco software supports the following three mechanisms to support or to reset BGP peering sessions. So we have hard reset, soft reset, dynamic inbound soft reset. So hard reset turns down the specified peering sessions, including the TCP connection, and deletes routing or routes coming from the specified peer. So that is basically performed, or you perform that by doing this command here, clear IP BGP and the neighbor IP. So we're going to use this topology. So let me actually just show it to you. So show IP BGP summary. So I'm going to perform this command. So clear IP BGP, no, IP question mark. The let's hard let's hard reset the session between this neighbor. So you see that administrative reset, so hard reset, but it looks like it came up immediately. Yeah, came up, but you see that the neighbor went down. So that's how you performed BGP hard reset. BGPs, yeah, and let me actually put numbers here. Number two is soft reset or soft reconfiguration. A soft reset uses stored prefix information to reconfigure, and activate BGP routing tables without tearing down existing peering sessions. Soft reconfiguration uses stored update information at the cost of additional memory for storing the updates to allow you to apply new BGP policy without disrupting the network. Soft reconfiguration can be configured for inbound or outbound sessions. Okay, so you can do it either inbound or outbound. And this is an example of how to do it here. But it requires configuration, actually a couple of commands. And dynamic inbound soft reset or route refresh, um, one of our topics here, route refresh and soft reconfiguration. The route refresh capability as defined in RFC 2918 allows the local device to reset inbound tables dynamically by exchanging route refresh requests to supporting peers. The route refresh capability does not store update information locally for non-disruptive policy changes. It instead relies on dynamic exchange with supporting peers. Route refresh must first be advertised through BGP capability negotiation between peers. All BGP devices must support the route refresh capability. To determine if a BGP device supports this capability, use the show IP BGP peers command. The following message is displayed in the output when the device supports the route refresh capability. So I got this here from cisco.com. So this is the website. I'm gonna put this in the description of the video. So let me actually just show you this to you. I'm going to R1. So R1 is apparently a BGP peers with R3. I mean ISP1. So just paste that command. And ISP1 address, IP address is this. Hold on. Show IP, is that correct? Neighbors. Oh, spelling. Neighbors. There you go. So you see that it says neighbor capabilities, route refresh, advertised and received new. So this means that uh, both routers support route refresh capability. Going back. So I've got some procedures here that we can actually try using this topology. So how to configure inbound soft reconfiguration when route refresh capability is missing. So this is um, the procedure that you can do when when it says here when route refresh capability is missing on the routers. So perform this task to configure inbound soft reconfiguration using the BGP. This is the command here, which is also here. For BGP peers that do not support the route refresh capability, BGP peers that support the route refresh capability are unaffected by the configuration of this command. Note that the memory requirements for storing the inbound update information can become quite large. So let's do this configuration or procedure on R1. So, okay, so BGP, this AS number is 100, and BGP, let me do a question mark. Says here, use reconfiguration, soft reconfiguration inbound only when route refresh is not negotiated. So just backup actually. And then configure the soft reconfiguration inbound to neighbor, what's the neighbor again? 192.168.31.3 inbound. Oops, soft, yeah, inbound. Okay, and then end. Oops. So there's a note here. You can't do a show IP BGP neighbor IP receive route to see all unfiltered and modified routes received from that neighbor when this particular command is configured. So let me actually try that here. So I'm going to do show IP neighbor. No, received. Yeah, received. Yeah, so it says here that inbound soft reconfiguration is in backup mode on this particular neighbor. So Uh, of course, this is happening because we have this particular command. So we can actually try to remove it. Yeah, let's remove it. Um, router, router BGP 100. Gonna remove this particular command, and I'm gonna do the same command again. Let me actually just, now we see the unfiltered or unmodified routes received from this particular neighbor, which is ISP1. But if we see the show IPBGP table or the BGP table, we don't see um, these other routes that we received from this neighbor. We only see the default route, and we can also check the routing table, and we just see the default route. So uh, this command is actually uh, helpful when you are trying to troubleshoot issues or BGP issues. So yeah, that's how you can configure inbound soft reconfiguration when route refresh capability is missing or is not negotiated or not negotiate. That's okay. And this is, let me check. Let us check the BGP configuration again. Yeah, we don't see that this particular command under the BGP session. We only see this. So now we can try to perform a BGP inbound soft reset. And we can do that by doing this command here. Actually, just here and then soft here. So, hey, by the way, the reason, hold on, let me, the reason we don't see the other routes from this particular neighbor because of course, we have the policy configured, right, on this particular neighbor. So here we have this route map configured in. So so yeah, we will only receive the default route from this particular neighbor. But here again, we are seeing all other routes or prefixes. And next is, so yeah, that's how you can, again, you can perform a BGP inbound soft reset. And next is how to perform dynamic inbound soft reset. This command requires that the peer support the route refresh capability. So even though we remove this here, we should be able to do this particular command, right? Because route refresh is enabled on these routers here. Yeah. So let's try this. I'm going to remove this. Remove it. And then do that command again. And when I do show IPBGP, yeah, I see other routes from that particular neighbor because um, we did a soft inbound BGP inbound soft reset. Let me do that again. Yeah. So I'm going to reapply it. So BGP 100. Going to apply the policy on that particular neighbor and going to do show IPBGP. As you can see, the other routes, we are still seeing the other routes coming from this particular neighbor. So these routes are actually this here and this here and this here. So basically the transit networks. And we also see this actually. And let me do the same command again. So it's still there. So now we either can do BGP inbound soft reset or hard reset, but you don't want to do hard reset, especially when these routers are in production, right? So yeah, so you have to do a soft reset again. So if you do soft reset here, you will get yeah, it works because route refresh is enabled on these particular neighbors or routers. And if we do show IPBGP, now we only see the default route coming from SP1. So if I'm going to show IPBGP this here, so IP, see routes. Am I doing the same? Show IPBGP, no, neighbor? Yeah, neighbor, see routes. Yeah, so we have to enable that command again this here. But since route refresh is working in this case, I'm not gonna enable it. And this already I showed you, sorry, this one here, which is basically the same command with, BGP inbound soft reset. So I'm not gonna do it again. And this is how you can perform a BGP hard reset. Okay, yeah, that's it in this video. I thought that this was confusing before, but after reading a couple of articles now, I understand that you don't need to always configure this particular command here because route refresh should always be enabled by default on routers on the yeah, especially the not so old routers. So, yep, that's it in this video. Thanks for watching.